Good evening. Doing the best at this moment puts you in the best place for the next moment. Welcome to BMC News Live in English, brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers. I am Vinod Narayanan, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines.
Media law violators may face heavy penalties. Interior Ministry coordinating with Foreign Ministry to protect fishermen's rights. Saudi Crown Prince and Chinese President discussed ways to enhance bilateral relations. Oman shops urged to label VAT-exempt items. Worldwide COVID cases surpass 500 million as Omicron variant BA2 surges.
News in detail. Media law violators may face heavy penalties. Media workers who violate laws could be spared time in jail but could face heavy fines if MPs have their way. MPs are set to debate and vote on government-drafted amendments to the 2002 Publications Law during their weekly session on Tuesday, which would also see the introduction of new organizational rules for electronic media. Qualifiers of His Royal Highness Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa Quran Award begin. The qualifying stage of His Royal Highness Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa Quran Award has started with the participation of as many as 600 contestants, the organizers announced. Patronized by Her Highness Sheikha Lulwa bint Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, the award is organized by the Al Noor Charity Welfare Society for the second straight year. The organizing committee said that there is a fierce competition among the participants, noting that the competitions are held for 61 contestants every night after the Al-Tawari prayers via Teams application. The committee expressed pride in the Al Noor Charity Welfare Society's sponsorship of the award for the second year in a row, noting that the importance of the event stems from the fact that it carries the name of the late His Royal Highness Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa. Representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa received the Parliament of the Youth book issued by the Council's Secretariat General from the Speaker of the Representative Council, Fawzia bint Abdullah Zainal. The book sheds light on the Youth Parliament session on the 11th of November 2021. The Minister of Youth and Sports Affairs, Ayman bin Tawfiq Al Mayed, was present. Sheikh Nasser praised the remarkable role of the Representatives Council and the Secretariat General in highlighting the youth's projects and empowering them following the visions of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and the support of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, Crown Prince and Prime Minister. Bahrain's humanitarian efforts praised. Royal Humanitarian Foundation's Secretary General Dr. Mustafa Al Sayed met with International Islamic Fiqh Academy's Secretary General Dr. Kautsuf Mustafa Sano. The meeting discussed Bahrain's humanitarian efforts in providing help to various countries and aid to the less fortunate. Dr. Sano praised Bahrain's diplomatic and humanitarian role and Royal Humanitarian Foundation's efforts, supported by His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, His Majesty the King's representative for humanitarian work and youth affairs. Permissions are granted for 1,863 apartments in last 4 years. A total of 1,863 apartments were officially approved across the country over the past 4 years. Works, Municipalities Affairs and Urban Planning Minister S.M. Khalaf, who is politically responsible for the Real Estate Regulatory Authority, told MPs that the permissions were granted from 2018 until date following the go-ahead from all ministries, government bodies and concerned departments. Bahrain home to largest herds of dugong, says study. Bahrain plays home to the largest herds of dugongs found in the world in terms of number and density, a new study has found. The study led by the Arab Regional Center for World Heritage found that there are more dugongs in the territorial waters of Bahrain than anywhere in the world. The more than 3-year-long study was carried out by a Bahraini research team under the supervision of Dr. Abdul Qadir Khamis with the support of international experts. The study included extensive air and marine surveys, using satellite images and modern technologies to monitor seagrass mulches, the staple food for dugongs. The research team succeeded in monitoring 700 dugongs in the territorial waters of Bahrain, the largest recorded so far in the world. Interior Ministry coordinating with Foreign Ministry to protect fishermen's rights. The Interior Ministry has condemned the arrest of 2 Bahraini and 4 Asian fishermen by the Qatari Coast and Border Guard patrols on April 13 and the confiscation of their boats over charges of entering the regional waters. The ministry said that their arrest had violated the Gulf Cooperation Council's brotherhood and good neighboring principles, adding that it is also a violation of humanitarian and traditional values in Arab and Islamic agreements. The ministry revealed coordination with the Foreign Ministry to follow up on legal procedures to protect the rights of fishermen and sailors out of dedication to protect citizens' security, freedom, safety, and interests. Today's COVID updates.
COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers.
Now we will be back after a very short break.
The 16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahla. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination.
NEC Remit. Send money online to India. Credit in seconds with great rates. Download NEC Remit app now.
The exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain. With over a decade of existence in Bahrain, exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909 6845 3909 4806 3885 2397 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com.
Welcome back. Saudi Crown Prince and Chinese President discussed ways to enhance bilateral relations. Saudi Crown Prince, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Defense, His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, today held a telephone call with President Xi Jinping of the People's Republic of China. During the telephone conversation, the distinguished bilateral relations between the two countries and ways to developing them within the Saudi-Chinese Joint Committee were discussed. Saudi Press Agency reported. The two sides also agreed to exert more effort to enhance partnership and strategic relations between the two friendly countries. The overall international situations and issues were also reviewed. The UAE Federal Tax Authority launched a whistleblower scheme for tax evasions. The Federal Tax Authority on Thursday launched a whistleblower program for tax violations and evasion, which aims to promote community control over local markets, raise the level of tax compliance, and reduce tax evasion cases in the UAE. The initiative called Rakib was rolled out in line with the cabinet decision aimed at raising awareness among the public and increasing compliance rates. It's effective as of April 15, 2022. The scheme allows the FTA to receive reports from individuals on tax evasion cases, tax-related fraud and violations of tax legislation. It also allows the authority to verify the reports and grant monetary rewards to informants when certain conditions are met. The FTA said in a statement, the program seeks to enhance transparency and competitiveness in the fields of doing business, raise tax compliance rates, and boost tax awareness and society's confidence in the tax system. Dubai reported 3 deaths, 34 injuries by traffic accidents during Ramadan. 3 motorists were killed and 34 injured in 47 separate traffic accidents during the first 10 days of Ramadan. The figures are up from last year, when 1 death and 23 injuries were reported in 29 accidents during the same period. Director of the General Directorate of Traffic at Dubai Police said the accidents occurred due to serious traffic violations, including reckless driving, speeding, not leaving adequate distance between vehicles, overtaking dangerously, driving when fatigued, and not adhering to lane discipline, and that the violations were linked to the tensions of fasting. Oman shop surge to label VAT-exempt items. Shop owners in Oman have been told by the Consumer Protection Authority to clearly label or mark those items that are in the 0% value-added tax list so as not to confuse customers or try to trick them into paying more for such goods. Food grains such as wheat, rice, barley and corn, as well as flours made from them, milk products in their various forms like plain milk, milk powder, cheese and yogurt, various varieties of breads, water, salt and sugar, fruits and vegetables, meat, fish and poultry, and coffee and tea are exempt from VAT. Other items including some medicines and baby products, financial services, healthcare and education and all related services, sale of undeveloped lands, resale and rent or lease services provided towards residential properties, and local passenger transport services are also among those exempt from VAT. Similarly, all items used by diplomatic missions, international organizations, and armed forces and emergency services do not have VAT levied on them. Arrivals in Oman shot up 400% in 2022. The number of people arriving in Oman has shot up by more than 400% in February 2022 compared to the same month a year ago. 122,000 people came to Oman in February 2022 compared to just 23,000 in 2021, reflecting a 432.4% increase in arrivals to the country, according to figures published by the National Center for Statistics and Information. Nationals of the other 5 GCC countries accounted for 45,148 people entering Oman, while internationals accounted for 12.7% of the arrivals. Google Maps Plus Codes tool simply lets people share where they are, even if there isn't an address. Although originally launched in 2018, Plus Codes have now come to 18 countries across the MENA region, including the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Egypt, Morocco, Algeria, and more. Google uses latitude and longitude coordinates to display a short sequence of numbers and letters that provide an accurate location when clicked on. The Plus Codes are also accessible offline and can be used to share a type of location, such as a home, a store, or a meeting place. Gusty winds threaten to fan New Mexico fire that killed 2. Firefighters battling a raging New Mexico wildfire that killed 2 people and destroyed more than 200 homes in a mountainous community. The fire has forced the evacuation of about 5,000 people in the community of Ruidoso, where the remains of a couple were found near a burned home earlier this week as they tried to flee, the Associated Press reported. The fire sparked by a downed power line had torched an estimated 24.3 square kilometers of forest and grass as of Friday morning, and the strong winds that battered the area earlier this week left behind toppled trees and downed power lines. COVID-19 cases are on the rise again in US. Yet again, the US is trudging into what could be another COVID-19 surge, with cases rising nationally and in most states after a 2-month decline, the Associated Press reported. No one expects a peak nearly as high as the last one, when the contagious Omicron version of the coronavirus ripped through the population. But experts warn that the coming wave, caused by a mutant called BA2 that's thought to be about 30% more contagious, will wash across the nation. They worry that hospitalizations, which are already ticking up in some parts of the Northeast, will rise in the coming weeks. And the cases wave will be bigger than it looks, they say, because reported numbers are vast undercounts as more people test at home without reporting their infections or skip testing altogether. Worldwide COVID cases surpass 500 million as Omicron variant BA2 surges. Global COVID-19 cases surpassed 500 million on Thursday, according to a Reuters tally, as the highly contagious BA2 subvariant of Omicron surges in many countries in Europe and Asia. The rise of BA2 has been blamed for recent surges in China, as well as record infections in Europe. It has been called the stealth variant because it is slightly harder to track than others. South Korea leads the world in the daily average number of new cases, reporting more than 182,000 new infections a day, and accounting for 1 in every 4 infections globally, according to a Reuters analysis. New cases are rising in 20 out of more than 140 countries and territories tracked, including Taiwan, Thailand, and Bhutan. Now we will be back after a very short break.
The 16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahala. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination.
NEC Remit. Send money online to India. Credit in seconds with great rates. Download NEC Remit app now.
The exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain. With over a decade of existence in Bahrain, exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909 6845 3909 4806 3885 2397 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com.
Welcome back. Al Hilal Healthcare Group organized Iftar Meet. Prominent personalities including ambassadors of various countries attended the Iftar gathering. Report.
The Iftar meet was held at the Adiliya Al Hilal parking tent under the auspices of the Al Hilal Healthcare Group in Bahrain. Recital of the Holy Quran along with prayers were held during the Iftar gathering. Indian Ambassador His Excellency Sri Piyush Srivastava, Malaysian Ambassador His Excellency Mr. Shastral Sahiran, and First Secretary Ms. Siti Farsha, Ambassador of the Sultanate of Oman His Excellency Dr. Adil Muhammad Al Balushi, Ambassador of Indonesia, His Excellency Mr. Ardi Hermawan, and his wife, Mrs. Yulina Pushpaseri, along with embassy personalities. Algerian Ambassador, His Excellency Mr. Abdul Hamid Ahmed Al Khuja, and wife. Pakistan Ambassador, His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Ayub. Morocco Ambassador, His Excellency Mr. Mustafa Benkil, and wife. Thailand Ambassador, His Excellency Mr. Piapak Sricharayon. Tunisia Chargé d'Affaires, Ms. Mona Malul, and Secretary Ms. Malika Arub. First Secretary of Japan, Mr. Hisazumi Yukioka. Chargé d'Affaires and Secretary of Nepal. Bahrain Capital Governorate Information and Follow-up Director Yusuf Yaqub Lori. Managing Directors of Al Hilal Healthcare, Mr. Abdul Latif and Dr. P.A. Muhammad. Al Hilal Healthcare CEO, Mr. Sharat Chandran. Al Hilal Healthcare Group Regional Business Head, Mr. Asif Muhammad. Officials from various governorates, eminent personalities in the field of business and socio-cultural diaspora, community representatives from various organizations, officials from various disciplines, media personnel, and other invited guests participated in the iftar meet.
With that, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. every day. I'm Vinod Narayanan signing off from BMC News Live. Good night.